Hello, I'm Jennifer Snyder, and I want to thank you for tuning in to Flying Unicorns Ustream shows. We host the Ustream series every Wednesday night at 9 Eastern Time. Karen Tamir will be next week. Shona will be debuting in her Ustream shows in 2 weeks, so we've got a lot coming up. We also have a special edition on this coming Saturday. I think that's the 2nd, May 2nd, at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and I'll be hosting. It's called Ustream Magic. Ustream Magic. No, it's called Unicorn Magic on Ustream, and it's aimed at more of a clean and simple style. Simple is kind of a misnomer, but it's aimed at maybe a little more traditional scrapping. Sometimes, those pages that we used to make that used to be able to slip into scrapbook pages, a book. So that's what I'll be doing when Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. So, it's reveal time at midnight. Midnight is when the May kit gets revealed, and it's spectacular. So if you haven't pre-ordered, you'll want to hang out by your computer tomorrow, and because it does sell out fast. So the best way to ensure that you get your kit every month is to pre-order the 20th of every month. But if you didn't pre-order, you'll want to quick go and look at all the sneak peeks that we've been posting on the forum and also on Facebook, because the design team has done an amazing job. So also, one last announcement, that anything that I use on the show tonight, if it's available in the store, is 10% off. So with that, let's see if I can pan down. I've been practicing. Practicing the successful pan down. Yay! Not too bad. Pretty successful. Let's see if I can. We need a little bit more light, maybe. There. So this is my project. It's got a little dimension to it. Lots of cardboard. And I'm just going to hit it and get it, because what I'm doing might take a little bit of time. So I've got several layers here. And what I'm going to be working on first is the main cardboard, these rays strips. I used some, I don't know if right in here. I used some tissue paper, and I added it to my layout so that I could hide the cardboard and just give it a more finished look, and also to tone down the background of the paper. So let's go. Let's go. To start with, I used I cut a circle out of cardboard. It doesn't need to be a circle, but for me, the circle worked the best. And I don't know why. You could most certainly cut strips of cardboard out, but I didn't. I used a circle. Okay. I can't even explain myself. So what I need to do is cut the same size circle in paper. This paper that I'm going to use is the Beautiful Butterfly Collection Wood Hollow. It's got a nice wood grain to it, and really subtle flowers on the back. So I'm going to cut a circle, and I'm using the glass, this glass cutting surface. I think a few of us fought for it. Somebody, I don't know who used it a few weeks ago. Maybe Lynn? I'm not really sure. But then we all had to run to the store, race to the store and get it. So, and I won. Lucky me. But I'm loving it. I'm truly loving it. So I'm taking my circle cutter and I'm making sure I have enough surface space to cut my circle. So, okay, I do. Whoops. Oh, it's a little slippery. Yeah. So, I thank you all for tuning in tonight. It means a lot to me that you are supporting me and just supporting the unicorns when we have these shows. It's fun for us, but you know what? I think the chat is just so much fun and so much camaraderie. Certainly a bunch of laughs to be had. So I've got my circle, and it's the same size as my cardboard. I'm going to glue it. I'm going to just tape it together, because I'm going to cut these, and I want to make sure, I want to make sure that they're cut exactly the same size. So I'm just going to tape it for some security purpose. Hi, Robbie. Thanks for coming. Costume Diva and Anne Marie. Thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate you. Yeah, that's what I do. Okay, so I'm gonna cut my circle now, and I find the best way to do this is simply to just take my cutter and just score it. And then I can bend it and cut perfectly. So I'm just going to do this a few times, and then I'll cut all at once. No need to waste the movement. I'm going to be efficient. I think I want 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6 rays. I know, you probably can't see this too well because it's white, but we're almost done cutting. 2, 3, 4. Let's see. So I am kind of excited to host Unicorn Magic on Saturday, because I think, you know what, I think I'm kind of going back to the roots of scrapping. I'm really kind of starting to be more of a, except for today's layout, I'm really starting to be more of a clean and simple scrapper. I'm enjoying that, and so I think, you know, it's fun for me to get back to those roots and where I started, and show you a few of the techniques. This is like really ridiculous cutting tonight. Okay, well, we'll get there. I know, you guys, I know that usually I'm a little more prepared, and it's not that I was unprepared. I just wanted to show you how I cut the cardboard, because cardboard can be like a daunting task to cut, as you can well see, even with the scoring. But I really want my cardboard strips to be straight, and if I wing it and just start cutting cardboard, there ain't no way I'm getting it straight, you know? So this is what we're gonna have to do. But I just really wanted to show you how I score it and then cut it. Yikes! Hey, where'd the paper go on that one? Oh, here we go. And this is going to be the cardboard background is going to be the most time-consuming part of this project. So while it may seem like I'm chewing up time right now, my scissors are fighting. We'll make it. I will get you onto your next part of the day on time, whether it's to bed or off to whatever. Like people like Charlie, my friend Charlie, he's got the whole day ahead of him. It's Thursday where he is, so still fighting. Fighting. Oh, ow. We're almost done with the cardboard phase. You know what? I think that when you're watching this later, you can just fast forward through this phase. Okay. Yay. Okay. Yay. We are done. I'm going to take this off. Sorry. Okay. this is my background page. This is the beautiful, beautiful Prima Butterfly Collection Princess Papillon. My camera does not do it justice, but I love it. Very subtle. So I'm going to cut my strip off. I know some of you keep the strip on and scrap with it, and I'm just getting rid of it. Tonight's project is a little messy. I'm pulling out the Mod Podge. I love Mod Podge. Oops, whoa, sorry about that. I also love Matte Gel Medium, but typically I would use this, the Matte Gel Medium. I'm using Mod Podge tonight because it dries faster for me, and for this project, it's a little more essential that I have it dry faster. And I have some tissue paper, some white tissue paper that I'm going to use. Oh, I keep kicking the table. I'm sorry, folks. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, yikes. I'm just going to position my strips onto the paper where I want them. Okay, the reason why I am using the tissue paper to cover it is because I don't want the corrugation to show on my project. And this is how I'm going to fight that. I'm going to just cover it up and make the whole project look cleaner by using the tissue paper. Once I have these on the page the way I want them, I'll glue them down and then start hitting it with the Mod Podge. So let's see. I think I want a small one over here. This is like a puzzle to the. I'm gonna cut the ends off. Go cut that tip off. Make it go a different direction. This one. There we go. And then I'll just do this one down here. If I'd been paying a little more attention to the wood grain paper, I probably would have had it maybe go a little more with the grain, but I don't care. Looks fine. I'm happy. I'm happy with it. Okay. There. Okay, I'm just going to glue them down real quick. Go to my cardboard and then glue them to the page. How's everybody doing tonight? Not that you can tell me and speak back, but I had a great night last night. Erica Houghton and I went out to dinner. She doesn't live near me, but every 2 years she flies in for work. And I get the pleasure of dining with her. And we just laugh. She's just a joy. She's just a joy to be around. She's always got a smile on her face. And all of you ladies who will be going to camp will have the pleasure of seeing that smiling face. She is just a genuinely nice person. So that was my wonderful evening yesterday. And then over the weekend, I had the pleasure of scrapping with a couple other ladies, my friends, and that was fun too. We're always laughing when we get together. Oops. Yeah. I'm not using a lot of glue. I'm just kind of slapping it on because I've got the Mod Podge, which will also be on and kind of holding the whole project together. So, Mod Podge time. Get my foam brush out. My garbage out of the way. I'm going to cut. I'm cutting with my fingertips. I'm going to cut But I'm going to tear some Mod Podge, and I'm going to add Mod Podge to the paper to prime it a little bit so that the tissue paper will actually stick. Mod Podge dries kind of fast, so you've got to do it in small sections. I'm using paper Mod Podge, and it's a matte. Can you see? I don't know. Can you see it? I like the matte, and because it's, gives me a nice finish. Okay, so what I'm doing with the paper is I'm not just draping it on and laying it on. I'm going to actually make sure it gets into the fold. I can crinkle it up if I want, that's fine, but I really want it to get into the fold of I'm a dork. You know what? This is ridiculous. I have to take these off. Womp womp. Sometimes we do that. Sometimes we look at our project and go, oh my gosh, what happened? I have to put this down first. Silly me. Because that would be silly if I put the tissue paper over my pattern paper. Here's her losing the pattern paper. Sometimes we just back up a little bit. Rewind. Okay, so now I'm just going to make sure my tissue paper gets into my creases and my folds. That's what's going to give your project the finished polishing look. I kind of want this one to crease a little bit. I'm putting the Mod Podge. If you haven't used Mod Podge before, it's just a wonderful medium. Dries quick, like I said, and it really does enable the paper to adhere nicely. Yeah, sorry about that little goof up, but you know what? I guarantee you we've probably all had them. And this was not catastrophic. This was not epic like Jen could do. I'm just kind of fighting with it and forcing it down. But I really want nice coverage on the edges of the cardboard. Yikes, 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 yikes. Okay. Got a few more people that stopped in tonight. Howdy, Shannon and Lydia. I really appreciate you all coming. Stay tuned in the next couple of weeks because we've got Karen coming up next week, and Shona makes her debut, and I'm so looking forward to that because Shona's just, oh, she's got such a great personality. She will certainly make us laugh and dazzle us at the same time. Like I said, this is the longest. This is going to be the longest section of the show, so. Well, it seems like I'm not making any progress. I really am. I'm going to cover this little tip over here. I think with the tissue paper adds texture to the page, whereas a stencil and some molding paste would. This kind of takes the place of it, but it also tones down the background and makes my image and my design pop instead of having the background piece of patterned paper pop. Whoops. Yeah. Any of you guys use Mod Podge as a kid? Like at Scouts or I don't know, at school on craft projects? Because I used Mod Podge all the time as a kid. Like Girl Scout projects and stuff. School projects. I think I was the queen of Mod Podge. I rocked it back then, I'll tell you. And then it seems like Mod Podge has had this resurgence of popularity. Oh, refresh my page. So it had a resurgence of popularity, or maybe it just never went away, and I just dropped out of the Mod Podge scene for a while. But I'll tell you, it has got some new, cool products. And there's so much you can do with it these days. It's got glitter in it, and it's got melty stuff. See, we are moving along. And by the time I get over here, this side will be dry. This allows for a lot of babble time, so sorry guys, you gotta listen to me kind of babble, because what else are you gonna do, right? There. Stick it there. Special thank you to Alda for tuning in tonight, because she's in the middle of a very big project, moving, and I know, like, shortly, in a few days she's moving, and so I know that her life is kind of in chaos right now, hectic, and whoops, a little topsy-turvy, turned upside down. So thank you, Alda. I appreciate it. Make that, stick that in there. But at the same time, she probably could use a breather. Packing, what a chore, what a task. Awful, awful. But the end results are always wonderful. So I wish you a lot of luck, Alda, in your new home. Not that you'll need it, but there you go. Heck, we're almost done. While this looks white, like gel medium, whoops, this will also dry clear. So no fears if you see a lot of white on your page while you're using Mod Podge. Whoops, oh my gosh, this one's kind of crazy. I think we're just about done. Oops. Oh, no, I've got a whole section. What am I doing? I got a whole bare naked section right here. Yeah, Alda says she's giving her muscles a break. I bet you are. And your son is probably, like, knee-deep in the middle of his, finishing up his studies, so he's probably not available to help you too much. So I really do feel for you. Oops. I've got Mod Podge on my face. Okay. I think she's done. Okay. This is where, see, as you can see, I mean, oh, you can see a little, good thing I turned the camera that way. You can see a little bit of my cardboard that I so don't want anybody to see. Oops. Now I'm kind of being fussy. Come on. Let's fold him under. There. Uh-oh. I better do a little wipe down here, or my paper's gonna stick to my mat. Okay. There we go. Done. Done with the Mod Podge. That was fun. That was fun. Thanks for hanging with me while I take care of the tedious business. Okay, now I can stick my paper strips on. I can Mod Podge them on too if I want. I just don't think that they are sticky enough, so I'm going to glue them on. I'm going to glue. Yikes. Whoops. Whoops. This is not good. I just have to get the orientation of my strips right. good. We're making back to making progress. Back to where we started about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, you know, holy camole. It took me 25 minutes to put the Mod Podge on. Seriously. But since that's the point of my whole, that's just about the crux of my whole layout, my technique for the night, I decided that I didn't want all of the wood grain showing, so I flipped a few upside down just to reveal the B side of the paper, just to break up the page a little bit. Oops, okay. I'm going to stick this guy right along the edge. Ooh, we're moving along nicely. I'm using my Beacons 3-in-1, just in case anybody wonders what glue I'm using. I use this for just about everything. It's really great for adhering embellishments that are a little heavier, like flowers and metals. Okay, there. Okay, moving on to the next step. Yay, I'm actually moving on. My next step, I punched out some strips from this really pretty paper. It's called French Roses from Prima. It's got some beautiful flowers on it. But I'm not going to use the floral side too much. I just don't want to. I decided to use the plain B side. And I inked the edges ahead of time. So I'm going to take and just cover up some of these edges that I left. Kind of crazy and sloppy. It's my favorite punch. It's the Martha Stewart Doily Lace Edger. I don't know. It's just about the only punch I use these days. I use it for everything. It's so versatile. I'm going to stick those down. What I did with my, in case you're wondering, I edged them first with Vintage Photo. And then I ran over them with Seedless Preserve. So all I did was I just inked the edges with brown first, and then I ran over with Seedless Preserve. The reason why I chose Seedless Preserve, it's got a really nice purple tone that complements the purple in the paper. So that's all I did. I know, there you go. So glue this on. Sorry, you could probably hear my husband having a conversation in the background. Hold on, just one moment. How terrible. Darling. Sorry, how terrible of me. I think he was just going to carry on a conversation throughout the whole show. I think he forgot I was on, but he's very accommodating. So sorry, I'm so sorry about that. But you got to do what you got to do to make the show continue, right? So let's, I'm just going to glue the rest of these on. Kind of not uniform. I'll put some over there. I think I'll put this one on this side. Refresh my screen. I'm really sorry. No matter, you know what? No matter how many times you tell your family that you're going to be doing a Ustream live show, guess what? That's the time when the dog is going to bark, or the kids want your attention, or the phone will ring, right? It's inevitable. It's just like when mommy's on the telephone and the kids all want mommy. You know, you're trying to conduct some kind of business, and that's when the kids all want you. So that's just, sorry, it's just how life goes. And I think I'm just gonna pop that over there. And this page is just about done. So that's how easy it is. I'm gonna piece this one together. There. The little punch just added just a little bit of interest. And the inking of the edges just makes the edge pop and gives it some, I don't know, some dimension, I guess. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just a quick little bit of stenciling. Not a lot, but I've got this really fun Prima stencil that we got in a previous kit. It's called Floral Petites, and I'm going to quickly take some molding paste and some Aida paint. Love this. Love, love, love. Matte Coral. The paint, the Aida paint is, gosh, you know what? It's got great colors, and it's just a smooth paint, and it just goes on to projects and blends so beautifully, and just like butter. So I'm going to use just a dab. Oh, I think I used a wee dab too much. I'm going to get rid of some of that. I don't want it to be too vibrant pink. I really want it to be a little less, so I guess we got to add more white, add more molding paste. There we go. Ah, that's what I want. I'm going to take my flower. All I'm trying to focus on is the big flower, and I'm going to dab it here and there. You know, my Mod Podge is dry already, so that's why like I said before, I chose the Mod Podge over like a gel medium, because I just knew that it would dry so that I could continue on my project on my merry way. See, I'm not using a lot of the stencil, just here and there, and decorating my strips. You know, that's what I love about using stencils. Nobody says you have to use the whole stencil. In fact, rare is it that I've used an entire stencil. I like to cherry pick, and I like to pick bits and pieces from my stencil. Okay, so that is enough with the pink. Oops, I'm gonna... When you're using stencils also, if you're kind of particular about your stencils, you'll want to make sure that you clean them promptly. Get them in some kind of water quick, wash them off, wipe them off, because they're kind of, they're not very forgiving if you don't take care of them. What happens is they'll get all crusty, and the molding paste will dry and fill up the nice design, and you won't get a clean design next time you go and use it. Now I'm just going to follow up with some regular white molding paste and pop a few flowers on too. Nothing much, just quick. The flowers, I think they kind of mimic the pretty delicate little flowers that are on the background of the paper. Okay, there, that's it. That's all I want to do with the stencil. So once again, I use the beautiful, beautiful matte. Let's see if it'll focus. Will it focus? Anyways, it's matte coral, Aida paste, or Aida paint, and I used molding, just plain regular molding paste. clean that off. Whoa, I better wipe it off. I also have over here a bucket of warm water that I'm just going to set it in so that I can continue on with the show and I won't ruin my mask. I am really particular about my masks and my stencils. I like them clean. Okay, great. We're ready to finish up. The next step, I have, I cut out some ovals. These are Spellbinders, and they're the floral ovals. I love them. They have three different, actually 4 different sizes. So I took the 2 largest ones, and I'm going to layer them. But before I do that, I want to ink my edges. So once again, I'm taking my Vintage Photo and my Seedless Preserve, and I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to ink my edges a little boldly. I'm not going to be gentle and delicate and timid with my ink. It's funny. I am very timid with mist, but with ink, I can just let it rip. Very odd. We all have our different fears, I guess, and apprehensions, and mine happens to be mist. And today's show, I'm not pulling out the peony mist. Go figure. Oops. Whoa! Crazy. Okay. I think that's grand. Whoops. I'll get the Seedless Preserve. Tonight I set a table out and I laid out all of my supplies. Usually I have them just in a box and then I have to sort through the box and I lose stuff. But tonight my system's working out well for me where I've got it all laid out. Who would have thought? Who would have thought a little organization, right? But it really dawned on me that I just can't live like a crazy box lady anymore. Okay. I want this to fit in the corner, and I want it to kind of hide this blank negative space. So I'm going to have to add some cardboard to the back of the big oval. Just a little bit. So that it supports this kind of void. You know what I'm talking about? This void space right there. I think that's good. I'm going to glue that down. Use your foam tape, use your foam dots, whatever you want. Cardboard's great for large areas, using, you know, to pop up larger areas. I'm going to glue that down. You know, this is about it. I'm almost done. All I do is have to pop on some flowers and butterflies and call it done. I'm also going to pop this one little oval frame out as well. So I'm going to place some cardboard behind him too. There. Ah! Okay. I love this ink oops, refresh my screen. I love this ink combo. The Seedless Preserve and the Vintage Photo. When I use cardboard, I like to attach my piece to the cardboard first and cut around it. I kind of just angle my scissors in, and this way I don't have to worry about the size of the cardboard. I'm perfect every time. I don't have to worry about the fit. There you go. Stick that over there. I'll just go ahead and glue it on. Now this little oval doesn't allow for a big photo, so what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to size your photo down into a smaller. What I did was I ended up cutting my photo to fit the oval. So I'm just going to stick it on there. And now we're going to grab our butterflies. I'm going to grab 2 butterflies. Let's see, I'll grab this darker one and I'll grab this one right here. These are the Prima Butterfly Collection butterflies. The butterflies to the Butterfly Collection. They're called Imagos. I-M-A-G-O. Butterfly Imago. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. And we all know how much I love my barbecue skewers. And my barbecue skewers, I start out with a hefty size skewer and I work with them all the time. But somehow my skewers get shorter and shorter because I'm always cutting little pieces off. And this time, I'm going to cut a couple of pieces off because while I love these butterflies to death, I don't want them to be flat. I want them to have a little dimension. This whole project has a lot of dimension, so I really want my butterflies to have them as well. But if I just kind of pop them up like that, they're not going to stay secure. So I am going to give them a little assistance. And that's where my barbecue skewer comes in. So I'm going to cut 4 pieces. Not big pieces, but, well, hopefully these are small enough. I'm going to take them and just stick them right. I'm going to glue 2 sides of them. I'm going to stick them right in between the wings of the butterfly. There. Bam. Bam. He's done. See, he's got a little bit of dimension, and he's going to stay like that, but not so much that it's crazy sticking off the page. So that's how I keep my butterflies in flight. And you know, the wood skewer, so what? If somebody looks at it from the side, it looks very natural. You know, it doesn't look bad at all. You can barely see it in there. So I'll pop one there. And I'll pop some over here. I'm also going to ink the edges of my butterfly too, so that it looks a little more cohesive with the rest of the inking on the page. Grab my 2 inks. I better re-ink. Oh, I've got glue on my finger. My doggone little butterfly wants to stick to my finger. Whoops. Blah. Sorry. I'm a little clumsy tonight. There. And this other one. Happy birthday, Paula. I'm sorry if we missed your birthday. I hope it was wonderful. There. Okay, and just a little bit of purple. Not a lot. There. Done. I think we'll stick the butterflies, one up here. One maybe right about there. And this guy can go maybe right about here. There. There. And see the butterfly wings? They're perfect. They're beautiful. Love them. Love, love, love. Okay, and now let's put some flowers on the page. I have these wonderful, I love them. They're so delicate. These are called the Butterfly Betties, B-E-T-T-Es. Don't know how to say that either. But the Butterfly Collection flowers are spectacular. They're delicate and their colors are just gorgeous. So I'm going to toss an assortment on my... Oh, I don't want blue though. No blue this time. But I'm going to pull out some of the more rich wine colors, stick them over here, and I'm going to ink the edges of a few flowers too real quick. I have this little itty bitty chalk edger or inker. It's old, but you can get in there really fast. I'm inking the edges of the flowers. I want, like I said, I want the cohesion, but it really lends itself for more of a vintage look. So, and a finished look. You know, it's those little itty bitty details that makes your work look finished. Couple more, and we'll keep on embellishing. I think I'll stick a flower up here, maybe a flower there. Let's stick it there. And these flowers, these little flowers, they go so nicely with the stencil that I used. Okay, let's hold off on the flowers for a moment. I've got these flowers are from the butterfly collection as well, and I'm not even going to say this. It's O-P-U-S-C-U-L-E, opuscule, or something like that. I'm not even going to pretend I know how to say it. Well, I think that's it. One flower. And I've got, oh, heck, I'll grab two. And then I have these beautiful butterfly collection leaves. They're called A-I-L-E, ale. I don't know, something like that. I'm going to grab a couple of leaves. And the blue ones can stay in the package for another time. You know what's great about this collection, the flowers especially? I think that they are so versatile. They could go with just about, you know, so many other paper collections and so many projects. So I've got, like, when Alda had her sale in the store a couple weeks ago, yes indeed, I bought a lot of the flowers. Okay, I think we're good. We're good. Yeah, maybe that one too. These two right here, they're a little mushy. I gotta say, they came in the package a little mushy, so I need to give them a little more life. I need to put the life back in them. So I'm going to give them a quick mist of water, and I'm going to blast them with my heat gun and kind of mush them with my fingertips at the same time. A little bit more water. I know I've done this before, but these I've showed you this technique before, but this is really important for these little guys because they are squishy. They're flat. And I'm just going to dry them and puff them at the same time. And that's how you bring life back to paper flowers that have been squished and neglected, shall we say. There we go. They're looking so much better. From squishy to happy. Look at. From this flatty squishy thing to this beautiful perky thing again. Lovely. Let's dry up. I have this berry wine, Color Bloom berry wine. I'm going to give this one a mist of my berry wine. And at the same time, I think I'm going to cut my seam binding for my ribbon and just mist it as well. And just prepare. Let's get everything else aside. Give the Color Bloom a mist, or give the mist a mist. Give Color Bloom a shake. And then I'm taking this seam binding. This is just regular seam binding. I bought Hug Snug brand. Whoop, yikes. Let me show you. called Hug Snug. It looks like it's 1,000,000 years old, but that's I don't know. It probably is 1,000,000 years old. But that's how the packaging. It's, you know, when you don't need to change the packaging of something that's a good thing, I guess. So I'm taking my seam binding and mushing it in the color. I think I'll just mush this a little bit. There we go. Wipe up my excess. And no, I didn't get mist all over today. I'm not quite done with the show, so anything's possible, but if you want, you could take your paper towel and wipe off some excess mist, or yeah, but I'm good. I think. Then I'm going to scrunch it with my fingers as I'm drying. And this is, I love these dryers. They're so quiet, aren't they? It's not even disturbing on a show. Let's really scrunch this up. The seam binding is, really holds the color so well. Okay, that's good. And I'm going to give this guy a blast too. Just dry him up a wee bit. Okay, excellent. Okay. Now I'm going to take and add my flowers, and then I'm done. Oh, let's see. I'm just going to kind of just put them around the bottom of this. A little bit. And add some, I'm just going to go ahead and glue. I'm just going to commit to the glue. Oh, before I commit, I want to ink the edge of this. Just this one, I think. A little vintage look with some brown. I think my inker's drying up a little bit. I need to re-ink it. But he's good. He's good for now. My glue is, it's ready for a new bottle. Like, I did go away on a scrapping outing over the weekend, and I used up a lot of glue, so gotta eat this stuff. Just kind of tuck them in. Add my pretty little flowers. Layer them up. Add some leaves. They want to see your fingers if they're messy. Oh my goodness gracious, are you kidding me? I've got Mod Podge stuff coming off my fingers. I've got, oh yeah, and you know what? It'll probably be like this when I go to work tomorrow. I'll try to wash them, but the tops of my fingers and my fingertips, I've got, yeah, the Mod Podge is like scales coming off my fingers. All the, ah. That was a text from Cynthia. She asking me to show my gooey fingers. Oh heck, if you can't get dirty when you're crafting, that's half the fun. And teasing Alda's the other half. Alda's a neat freak. For those of you who are new to the show, Alda is our fair, wonderful leader, but she's she's very much a neat gal. So we like to tease her as much as we can, and get our fingers dirty on the shows, because it just drives her mad, drives her crazy. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put this guy here because he doesn't have a bead. Yeah, I have so much gunk on my fingers that my flowers and my projects stick into me. Okay, this is really needs to be dried a little bit more. Oh, so somebody mentioned, Janelle just mentioned Necco wafers. I think I have a pack of Necco wafers upstairs in my kitchen. I love Necco wafers. My husband loves the chocolate one. You know, it's got the chocolate wafer. You get like 4 in a package. Well, he loves them the best. So one day, I found a package of just the chocolate ones. I brought them home, and you know what he said? He said they aren't the same. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? So, I guess there is a difference. Now I'm taking my ribbon, and I'm gonna tie a bow. I don't need to, but I think it'll help me a little bit. And I'm gonna just shove it in there. Once again, this is where my wood skewer comes in handy, because I like to just push it, use the wood skewer to push it around under the cardboard and stick it onto the page. I'm just going to drape it. So it's not really going to look like a bow. It's kind of going to look like a clump. I guess it's the best way I can think of what it's going to look like. I'm going to take some glue also, because I want my seam binding to permanently stay up. So I'm going to make it. I just glue it like that. And it'll always forever stick up. I think I'll do that over here too. Oop, ah. See? I have glue all over my fingers now. But I go to work with paint on my fingers and gesso on my fingers, and they've come to expect it. So there we go. And my project is done. It's done, done, done. So there we have it. I'm going to flip the camera back around, I think. Flip it back up to me. There I am. Let's get the camera up. Okay. So, anyway, I'm so glad you all tuned in. I hope you had some good chat time on the chat, because that's always the most fun. I want to remind you that the kit goes on sale at midnight tonight. That's the May kit. And if you haven't gotten it, you might want to consider either staying up or hanging out by the computer tomorrow early, because I'll tell you, the kits sell fast. I'm not sure that there's been a month that we haven't sold out quick. So, and you can always consider pre-sale the 20th of every month. Karen's New Year is next week. Shona comes up in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, Shona. And they're both always a great time. We've never seen Shona, but I know I've seen Shona in person, and this is bound to be a great time. Everything that I used, if it's in the store, is 10% off tonight, and I have a special show on Saturday the 2nd. It's National Scrap Day. I will be hosting Ustream for Unicorn Magic, which is more clean and simple scrapping. It's also a great time if you know somebody that wants to maybe try their hand in scrapping starting out, or excuse me, I have to refresh my screen, or just wants to maybe go back to their roots of scrapping. Tune in, because I'll be doing some cleaner and simpler scrapping. So thank you for tuning in, and have a wonderful night.